Hello everybody and welcome to Sass Muffin Gaming. I'm your host Gokuman and we're playing Call of Cthulhu. So last time we got in a bit of a trip that we may or may not be out of, and by trip I mean we took in quite a bit of the green gas that was in the institution earlier. And we think we're talking with Sarah at the moment. Sarah Hawkins, the one that everyone believes is dead and buried away. And, yeah, this doesn't look normal. Let's just say that. So I'm not entirely convinced that we're in our right mind, especially since there's paint outside of the bathroom there. And, yeah. Okay, so apparently we were trying to escape the guards here. She does not look like she's been having a fun time. Why would we head this way, Sarah? Like, what's the point? You said follow me, but I'm not entirely sure that that's the right way to go. Can we go this way? No, we cannot. Okay, so last time we just kind of walked out. That didn't quite work.
What the?
Oh no.
Oh, there she is. So we're following Sarah here, because apparently she knows her way around everything here.
Okay. Wait. The machine. It's the green. The decaying one.
The gas.
Yes. It's not good for living beings.
We don't have time for that.
I am not moving until the wrong is set right.
Damn it.
So apparently this is where the machine that creates the toxic gas is coming from, the hallucinogen. Okay, so we have a furnace, another furnace. I am really curious to see what's on the other side of those furnaces, because why would there be windows there? Oh, there's glass, okay. And ventilation, the pipe tanks that pipe into here. It appears to be a giant 3-tank system. You know, I could have swore that we blew this up the last time we were down here.
I'd be better off finding a tool.
Okay. If you say so. A poker. Okay, that cannot be good.
That should do it. Let's move.
Okay. Rude.
No more. You bastard!
Oh, that's Charles Hawkins.
You're my wife, You owe me obedience.
But how did he know that we were trying to get her out?
We're alone. We're leaving this crazy island.
You are going nowhere. Don't get between me and my wife.
I both simultaneously have no idea what's going on and completely understand what's going on.
Tell me what to do with my wife. How dare you? No. Why should I let you take her away when I could snap your neck?
All you did for her safety was throwing her in this rat hole.
I hid her well enough.
You let Fuller play with her.
Stop. I did everything I could to protect her. But
No.
her identity, her power, is what threatens her.
What?
Sarah has seen things, has made things you can't even begin to imagine. Would you still save her if I told you that she is even more dangerous than I am?
Yes.
The pendant! But she refused!
At first, Sarah condemned Francis Saunders the moment she offered him the Wanderer. Sarah has been in the presence of the myth for too long. Even if she were to leave Darkwater, she would still hear his call. And the cult will always be here, waiting for her.
Then we get rid of its members.
You are out of your league, detective. They control the whole island. She will finally surrender to his power, and the world will fall with her.
Don't!
No one can escape the wheel of destiny, they say. But I will change it. I will save Sarah.
What? Wait, what? Where did the axe come from? So, I don't know about you guys, but with him appearing right after we like pulled the gas out, right? I don't know if he was real. Like, I know, like, whole mythos thing and like the game is paranormal and Cthulhu, and I like that, I get that. But like with the whole like theme that they have going with like the gas causing hallucinations and all that sort of stuff, I'm not entirely convinced that like if he was there, he definitely wasn't in the form that he was. So I don't. Yes, sure, Charles Hawkins could have been there, but maybe he isn't. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe that was some other random person. Maybe that was the security guard. And yeah.
No parent should have to bury their child, knowing it's me that put him there. The guilt will never go away.
I feel your pain.
I'll do anything to get him back. Anything. My work was what lured me here in the first place. It began showing me things I never should have painted. things Charles should never have seen.
What am I to you? I took care of you, saved you from your miserable life. You'll never find a man better than me. You owe me.
I owe you nothing. We'll leave now.
You're not going anywhere. You are mine.
Okay.
Simon.
Come on. It's over now.
Okay, another vision. I think we've seen this one before, haven't we? Right before we woke up in the mansion. Yeah, so this is where we woke up the last time we came out of the Institute.
My dear Sarah, you are not seriously considering exposing yourself to that influence again.
What?
Do I have a choice?
Okay, we're still tripping. So, because, like, okay, if we did save Sarah, which we may have, she may have been locked down there, and that may have very well been possible. I'm not entirely convinced that Charles was actually alive because, one, we had that whole scenario where we went in the basement, right? And we saw a detective, whatever his name, the constable get, basically killed because he had his entire guts ripped out. And we saw Charles down there, and we're pretty sure that Charles took a pretty big hit. And the entire underground of the mansion collapsed, which there should have been something about that. Besides the fact that how did anyone get us out of the basement in the first place? And then we were in the Institute, and we know that they had hallucinogens, and that people were tripping balls. And then when we went back in, we totally were tripping on the gas because we were normal. It was just like a normal time until we reached that. So we may have just saved Sarah here, but like there is no way that what we're seeing entirely lines up with the truth.
Mr. Pierce, we were waiting for you.
Good. Sarah doesn't have much time.
What are you doing here?
Did you think I would let you confront the occult without supervision?
This is too dangerous for a bookworm like you.
Algernon, I need to talk to Mr. Pierce.
Very well, Sarah. I will be in Charles Hawkins' office.
Okay, so we told Algernon to come with us, right? So why is Detective Pierce just like, oh, I can't let you confront the occult like this? But we totally told him that we trusted him and to come with us. So I don't get why Detective Pierce is acting like we didn't.
You seem different.
Yes. When I woke up this morning, my mind was sharper. Cleaner. I can still hear the voice calling me. It is so strong. So ancient. Enticing. Dangerous. I may never be able to escape his grip, but for now, I can keep it at bay. I know what I owe you, Mr. Pierce. But I can't come back to Boston with you.
See, that just confirms the fact that she was also tripping on the gas. Okay, I think Charles Hawkins is off the table. There's a cult here. It's because the Wanderer. You and Drake are up to something.
For a long time, hiding each other's secrets.
I trust him.
What are you planning to do?
I must find it and kill it. I am the only one who can end its slaughter.
No, you will come with me to Boston.
I owe you no obedience.
This isn't about what you want or don't want to do. You would risk destroying the world just because you can't face the consequences of your actions.
I am willing to atone for my sins.
No, you're just trying to erase all proof of the mistakes you've made.
I know what I have done. I will not rest until the creature is sent back to its dimension.
What? I no. That just seems like a bad idea. Just no. Just no. I don't like either of these answers. I don't feel as though like we should be going down this crazy path, because like we've been throughout this entire adventure been trying to go along the same path. I feel as though there has to be like a, oh, well, your father sent me to look for you, and like this is what your father would want. Like, where's that option? Like, where's that option right here? Like, I don't believe the whole baloney with where we've been how we've been treating this adventure. I don't exactly believe that Detective Pierce would buy into the whole like, oh, if she stays, the world ends thing from the Charles Hawkins like delusion. So out of these three options, I think this is the best one. So there must be a way to fight it.
From yesterday's condition. That must mean you can fight it. We must find something that will stop you from relapsing.
Algernon knows of a way to protect me. Help him find what he seeks, and we may all survive this battle.
All right. I'll help you.
So I'm kind of in the line right now. Oh, the statue changed. I'm kind of in the line here that like, at this point, Detective Pierce has been done what he was hired to do. He came, he investigated the fires, he learned, let's say like that Sarah and Charles had a big fight. Charles faked his death by pretending he died in the fire, and like that's why we saw the painting in the harbor. That's why we saw that he was just kind of like living in squalor instead of their mansion, and why the groundskeep was so protective of this place, because Charles Hawkins was still coming back and walking around here. Like, but he was burnt and he was shamed, and he was also destitute because he was out of money. That's why the place was falling apart. That's also why, like, because he was abusive, Sarah and her son were wanting to leave, and she secretly had, because she was good friends with Dr. Fuller, had her interned in the basement to keep up this delusion that she was dead. And he was essentially going to let her rot there for all time because he believed that she was suffering from a severe like psychosis, and that their son was the only like real casualty in this whole thing because the gravekeeper had saved Sarah, like she said. But like she is suffering from that tremendous loss So while she's suffering from this tremendous loss, she can't let go of that. So she's staying here. She's staying here because she is caught up in her psychosis and her sorrow. And we may or may not have just killed her husband with our imaginary axe that we pulled out of nothing. And through that, crazy ass drug trip we took while we were suffering from the hallucinogenic gas in the bottom of the asylum. But I think, so getting back to the point, I think like at this point, Detective Pierce would be like, okay, I'm not being paid to follow through with Sarah's delusions. I should head back to Boston with or without her, tell her father what he found, and maybe take some proof of that somehow, and take his money, move on to the next case. But like, because to be real here, we know there was hallucinogenic gas. We know it affected us. We know that she is suffering from some sort of psychosis, and that like this is something that she's been dealing with, and like we saw the effects of the gas. We saw how it affected us, and we were able to rationalize that out when we were talking to not only the psychologist, but also when we were talking to, oh, we can just leave. So we were able to rationalize that out when we were talking to the constable and with the psychologist. Like we were just like, okay, we know you weren't disemboweled. We know that we were under the effect of drugs.
I'd be better off if I went to see the others.
So yeah, like with the choices that we made, I don't think that this is the direction that Detective Pierce should be taking. Oh, we can still go into the basement. This should be collapsed, right? Will it just like let us go down without talking to Algerin?
Seeing you again. Ah, it's you. I'm here for her, not you.
I don't care why you're here. Your usefulness is the only thing that matters. How do we protect Mrs. Hawkins from the influence of the forces that claim her?
By following Charles Hawkins, that imbecile of a thief, of course.
What do you mean?
He found something. An amulet. The symbol engraved on it could protect Sarah.
Could?
We are dealing with forces that by far surpass what your intellect can process.
Oh, come on.
Feel free to ask me any question regarding the matters that exceed your grasp.
You don't need to be a little... Like... Because if we're going by Sarah's delusion, right? Charles did not want her to be involved in this, so he would have been wanting to get the amulet to her at some point to protect her. Or he might have been trying to keep her away from like the mythos, because that... Why does it keep suggesting Cthulhu options? Valid sanity requirements. Have we lost our mind? Is that what this is? I am really curious, but at the same time, this seems like a horrible idea. Okay, he must have a plan to get rid of it. He sold the dagger to Sanders, a dimensional shambler.
The dagger with the strange sign. Was it you who sold it to Francis Sanders?
If you are referring to the dagger of the ancients, then yes, it was me. Why?
Do you know what he intended to do with it?
Francis was primarily a collector of occult objects. He liked rare items such as the dagger, but I doubt he knew its purpose.
It allowed me to send the creature you call the Shambler back into the painting.
Fascinating. But I am afraid that this might only be short-lived.
You mean that thing could come back?
Yes, that is why I am looking for a more permanent solution.
It must never come back.
Drake, are you the one who has been trying to destroy the world by getting Sarah involved in all this? Are you actually the leader of the cult? And like this entire time, like you and like other people in town have been trying to paint like Charles as the bad guy when actually Charles was the good guy? Like, sure, an abusive asshole. Sure. But like, are you actually the one trying to end the world?
A genius like you must have already found a way to get rid of this creature, yes?
I sense your sarcasm, but it does happen that, yes, I do have a solution. I think I can destroy it, but for that I must approach the creature. And to be able to do so, I need the key to Rie.
Another one of your baubles.
It is no bauble, unbeliever.
Oh, okay.
It is a very powerful protection, able to repel very ancient forces. Much more effective than your cult.
What does it look like?
It is a golden amulet, bearing very ancient inscriptions and an elder sign at its center. A star with an eye in the middle.
I've already seen that sign. Where can we find it?
Therein lies the problem. That foul thief Charles has hidden it somewhere. I found this drawing among his personal effects. I think that it has something to do with the location of the amulet.
I'll follow this lead. You continue searching.
That is what I intend to do. As for you, return here the second you find it. I don't want it to disappear again.
Okay, so that told me everything. That told me everything. You conniving bastard. Like, you're just like, oh, you wouldn't know about this, you unbeliever. And then you're just like, oh, this amulet is an amulet of protection. But then like in like almost the same breath, you're just like, oh, this amulet is the key. You're saying it's the key to getting into this other place and like stopping the Shambler at its source. You don't want to kill the Shambler. You want to release him. You're not talking about the portrait as like a temporary like way of getting rid of him. No, you saw the portrait as a temporary way of letting him in. You want to let the Shambler in permanently. That's what I'm getting out of this. And that is just a picture of... This is a picture of what he actually looks like after the burn, without the tentacles. You have a picture of what Charles Hawkins looks like without the burns on his face. I mean, sorry, without the tentacles. I may be wrong, but this is pretty undeniable proof for me. Why? No, put that away. I still haven't figured out how to put this way. This is supposed to be a bust, then? You want me to go find a bust? Can we just head back? Tell the father what's been going on. That's all I want to do at this point.
I'd be better off if I went to see the others.
Okay, this is turned into a little hidden object find around this place. That's why all the busts look weird. What? How long have you been here?
Bradley?
It's you, Pierce. I'm just worried about Marie. I mean, Dr. Colden. Have you had any news?
You look a lot thinner. I mean, we'd want to tell the truth, right? I mean, we don't actually know this, but I'm gonna assume we're gonna try to tell.
Bradley, I could do nothing to save her.
What do you mean?
What happened?
I'm not sure what happened, but I found her body in the cellars of Riverside.
Did we?
You sure that you've got nothing to do with it?
Oh, yeah, we
She
did.
hadn't tried to help you. She might still be alive.
I'm sorry. Truly.
It's that slug, Fuller. I swear I'll shoot him. What do you say, Pierce? Are you with me?
Okay, so we're not the most eloquent. I don't see that as a very valid option. Fuller will pay the full price, the nature of their relationship. This is best.
I understand your feelings, Bradley, but I don't think that you're in the right state to make such a decision.
He killed her, Pierce. I can't do nothing, faced with this situation.
Fuller's crimes won't go unpunished, I give you my word. But for now, you must keep a cool head. We must do something for those who are still alive, Bradley. Sarah is still in danger as long as the cult is active. We need to see this through, otherwise Marie's death will have been in vain.
You're, the voice of reason, Pierce. As always.
What about this little option? Officer Bradley, you were with the investigator. You use the findings from the investigator. You go to the island's courthouse. You get yourself a warrant to go look for her body, and then you arrest Fuller for having murdered Dr. Colden. I mean, that would make sense, right?
I prefer to be alone.
If we're the voice of reason here, and yet we're running around trying to help this occult guy find this bust, and we can't get Sarah Hawkins leave, why would we ever want to get Sarah Hawkins leave? We don't need to. This is her house. Like, sure, her father is worried, but her father can come and get her on her own. She is her own person. Let her swallow her grief inside of her mansion. Like, sure, she's a little bit crazy. Come on, we would have seen that before. We would have seen, when we were looking around here earlier, we would have seen the little bit of paper inside of his ear. This really is, we're just gonna run around. We're just gonna run around this entire place looking at different busts. No, this conclusion does not sit well with me. That's a painting in the background. This is a place full of paintings. No, I don't think this is the appropriate way that this should go. I feel as though the game is pushing a narrative on us that we had not come to. Because, yeah. Yeah, of course. It's in the little jewelry box that we weren't allowed to open earlier because
Amulet that Drake was looking for.
that wasn't even locked. What was that? This is the amulet that Drake was looking for. He yelled at us, shouting in a foreign language as we hopped into that little area. Did we miss a cutscene? Can we look back at that? Drake maintains that it can repel the forces of great old ones like the doors of the undersea city of Relay. The same symbol that repulsed Charles Hawkins in the Nameless bookstore. How would he have even taken the amulet if it repulsed him? No, none of this is lining up. He wouldn't have been able to grab the amulet if it repulsed him. Sarah hid that amulet.
It's you again.
Why do you talk to me that way? Why is it like this? I don't want to give him the amulet. I actually really don't want to give him the amulet. But it seems like this is the only result that we're gonna have here.
I think I've found what we're looking for.
Let me see that. Yes, that's it. It's perfect. We are saved.
I must tell Mrs. Hawkins.
Yes, do that.
Ugh. This guy. All right. Before we go any further, we're gonna call it here. I'm sorry that you guys heard my disdain for with how the storyline goes. I assure you that I will not have such disdain going forward. We will just go along with the narrative that they have going. It's fine. I love Cthulhu mythology, but this, with the choices that we have, I feel as though we should have been able to pursue other options than just like railroaded hard into this at this point in the game. Like, we know it's hallucinogens. Like, we're in the basement. We saw the hallucinogen tanks. We breathed in the hallucinogen gas. I think Detective Pierce is irrational enough to be able to self-reflect on that and be like, oh hey, like, I may have saved Sarah Hawkins, but like I took like huge hits of this hallucinogenic gas. But no, that's the game is allowing us to have that self-reflection in our detective character. Like, if our character wasn't a detective, I could totally see it. But as it turns out, we are in fact Detective Pierce. Sure, we're an alcoholic, but we're also a detective. And an alcoholic should know better than anybody what chemicals can do to the brain. All right. If you guys want to see more, please smash that subscribe button. Railroad that bell icon, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye bye.